God the Father, Jesus the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Sometimes in our culture that's a little difficult to grasp hold of, because in our culture we associate love with feelings. But you see, in God's kingdom, love is a commitment. And it's not dependent on feelings, it's dependent on what God says in His Word. We know He loves us because He says He does in His Word. Okay, look at Romans 8, that's not right, Romans 5:8. It says there, but God commendeth His love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. See, when we were God's enemies, when we were sinners, He loved us so much, Christ died for us. You'll have to meditate and roll that in your head, get your mind wrapped around that. And then in 1 John 4:9-10, God says, in this was manifested the love of God toward us. This is what made it real, because He sent His only begotten Son into the world that we might live through Him. And then in verse 10 it says, herein is love, not that we loved God, but that He loved us and sent His Son to be the propitiation for our sins. You know, for years, I thought it was great because I loved God so much. And then I came across this verse that says, that's not true godly love. True godly love is not that we love God, but that He loves us. We've got to believe that and accept it, that He loves us. You know, there's another verse in 1 John that says, behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Do you get that? We are sons, male and female sons, of the Creator of the entire universe. That's the kind of love He had toward us, that He made us His sons because of His great love. And then it says, over in 1 John 4, it says, there's no fear in love, but completed, perfected, fully matured love casts out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made completed or perfect in love. The more you know and believe the love God has for you, the more you mature in that love and allow it to complete, fear doesn't get a foothold or have a place in your life. Not at all. Because in the love of God, there is no fear. And you know, over in Timothy, right now I can't remember it's 1st or 2nd, but it's chapter 1 verse 7, it says God hadn't given us the spirit of fear. No fear is of God. Okay, none. He's given us the spirit of power, love, and a disciplined mind. And then in 1 John 4:16 again, there's a verse that says, and we have known and believed the love that God hath towards us. We've got to know it and believe it for it to be any kind of a count in our life. That's our job. We have to know it and believe it. You know, believing is a choice you make. It's not something that just boom happens to you. It's a decision you make. You decide to believe God's love for you. And then I want to leave you with one verse before we close this out. You will really like this. It's John 17:23. And Jesus is praying to the Father before He goes to His crucifixion on the cross. And He says, I in them and thou in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that thou hast sent me. And listen to this. And hast loved them as thou hast loved me. Do you get that? Jesus said God loves us just as much and in the same way He loved Jesus. Wow. We are loved by the Lord just like He loved Jesus. Now, as you go through the next days, you need to roll all this over in your mind. Think about it. Go back and read these verses. Know and believe that you are loved of God. And we're glad you tuned in, and we will see you next time. This is Charlene Key. Bye-bye.